Good morning. We have turned off and are going back into the canyon. Supposedly the punished woman fork, I don't know why it's called that, was the site of one of the this area right here was there was a lot of last battles between the Cheyenne and the U.S. forces of Kansas, maybe Kansas Territory. Punished Woman Fork battle site. And since I have a little Griffith Ranch, since I have a little time before, well, the sun is coming up. It's cold. It's like 29, 30 degrees. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have gone up the road a little more for Punished Woman. That battle site. Oh, here's something. All right, that is marked private. Okay, let's see. Please register. Alrighty. Battle Canyon, designated historic place. Take nothing away, leave nothing behind. Stay on main road. No camping. Alright. Free admission. Oh, that's the museum. Northern Cheyenne flag. Neat. Please take one. There's our history. Let me take care of this. I'm going to read over this little sheet of information. Oh, there's a tractor. It's like he's feeding cows. Oh, he's honking. At the cows. This terrain looks like old movie sets. Black and white westerns. Christopher at the museum mentioned that this is where a lot of artifacts are found in the canyons, and that makes perfect sense. They were a little more sheltered, a little more, I don't know, cozy. So it's where people lived. This would be easier to paint things that are closer, because if you're at a distance, it's literally just land and sky. So I feel inspired to, I want to go through my easel and my bag and get a lot of the extra weight out of those and narrow it down to just the essentials to make setting up to paint a lot easier. Gosh, this is quite a ridge. Alright, here is a fork in the road. Keep to the right, I reckon. Oh, there may be. I did not see anything but words on that. Oh, look, there's a marker. We might want to get over that way instead of this way. What the heck? Let me just drive a little ways and see if there's anything up here. Otherwise, I'll turn around and come back to this marker. Yeah, this is just part of the farm or the ranch, Griffith Ranch. See the marker from here. That's beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. Wow. That looks like a cave. Maybe it's a wash. I hear a little bird waking up. Oh, what did it say? Let's get rid of that. Oh. Well, there's a dam built. I see a truck way down there. Let's look at the marker. There's an eggshell and other parts of it. You think that was a coyote? It looks like a hen egg, like a regular egg. Sanctuary Cave. Place of sanctuary for the Cheyenne women and children. My God. Escape draw. The small draw above the cave to the northwest was the escape route. All right. Well, that would be the draw, because that would be northwest. Well, from the mouth and 1 mile beyond, and were first engaged by Little Wolf's Cheyenne. Otherwise, let's read it both ways. There, Lieutenant Colonel Lewis and his troops entered the valley and were first engaged by Little Wolf Cheyenne. Now, There, Lieutenant Colonel Lewis and his troops entered the valley and engaged Little Wolf Cheyenne. I think there is significance to that ribbon and color. I remember such from Little Bighorn. Pack Horse Canyon. The next canyon held their pack horses. All were left behind. Rifle pits. Let's see. The Western rifle pits. What do you think? Because that's peculiar. Alright, this marks the site of last encounter between Native Americans, U.S. troops. What? In the state of Kansas, between Native Americans and U.S. troops. Homesick and ill, the Northern Cheyenne, under the leadership of Chief Dull Knife and Little Wolf, were trying to return to their former home in the north. 92 warriors, 120 women, 141 children who had escaped the reservation at Fort Reno, Oklahoma. And they were trying to get back home as they came through Kansas, crossing the Arkansas River at Cimarron Crossing. Lieutenant Colonel Lewis, commander at Fort Dodge, was dispatched to capture and return them. They were... The Northern Cheyenne were located at this site. Sentries hidden in circular pits, rock barricades. Women, children, elderly were hidden in the den below. When Lewis advanced, coming from the southwest, let's see. He was mortally wounded, which is south, who cares? He was mortally wounded in the thigh, dying, and he died en route to Fort Wallace, Kansas, 40 miles northwest. He became the last Army officer to be killed in Kansas during the Indian Wars. The Cheyenne escaped by night, crossed the Smoky Hill River, fled into Nebraska, where their party split. One group with Chief Dull, remember they fled up through that wash right there. One group with Chief Dull Knife and the other with Little Wolf. Dull Knife's group was captured close to Fort Robinson, while Little Wolf's remained in the sand hills of Nebraska for the winter. This 30-acre site was donated to the citizens of Scott County By the late R.B. Christie, Scott County banker and stockman, the site is now maintained by the Scott County Historical Society. This is heartbreaking. Well, it is serene, even though you can hear the car, the motor. I wanted to see this fog rising. So right here, the gate's closed, but it is a volunteer center. Oh, poo. I missed the little house. There's a little ranger station. That is what I want for, look, that's what I want for Chinny Chin. My little house in town. Do you see the deer? Beautiful. I don't know what those little buildings are called, but you see some in high terrain as places for hikers to shelter. I'm not sure. It could be a chapel. I don't know what it is. What is that? Steel Home. Steel, S-T-E-E-L-E. Okay, that's a name. So that was someone's house. I was saying before the deer that I want my little cottage to reverberate the Americana of the park systems and the ranger houses. Okay, our map said there was a steel monument. Oh, maybe that's the steel monument. What's that? Steel house, steel monument. Yeah. Okay, so the steel monument is up there. Steel monument. Wait a minute. We are near the Cuartalejo, which is the Pueblo. Let me concentrate. I see a deer up there. I think it's about to cross the road. If I don't want to drive too fast and spook it. I want to see it. Yeah, it's on the road. Okay. Cuartalejo, Pueblo ruins. Down there. According to the map, this is Horse Thief Canyon. this is Lake Scott State Park. The lake's been off to the right, and it will remain because we're making a loop. And there's a dam. There's a neat little gazebo. It's at the Lake View Campground, so this should be a good view of the lake. Look, that sign is glistening with ice. The glare is just preventing any good shots, so I haven't had the camera turned toward the lake. See, not really, but there's steam or fog floating up. Let's see, there's that little gazebo roof out of concrete or fiberglass. It's kind of cool. This looked like a nice view. I see little birds. I love the ochre color at the edge of the water. But let's peek through over here. Does this look like a nice scene? The ground is glittery. There's ice. Might have walked too far because I want to get that, whatever that thing's called. I want to say a butte. Oh, I like that. I like this scene a lot. I even like the scraggly. Is that a word? Scraggly? And that sun, I can feel it. It's warm. I've noticed that. It can be really cold, but if you're in the sun, it's quite warm. Well, yeah, I think. I want to show you something. There's my whisk broom down there. This is that's my handmade whisk broom. It had a little leather strap through there. What's that plug? That must be a dirt dauber. Yeah, it sure is. I got dirt daubers in my broom. Okay. Jeremy. Made for Jeremy, 1983. I watched a guy at maybe in Branson. Branson or Dollywood. My goodness. Now I've always thought Dollywood. Let's see, in 83 I would have been 8 years old. But I think we were at Shepherd of the Hills. Anyway, that's my broom. that was kind of frustrating. I don't know what the problem was. If I mentioned reasons I think might have been the problem, they'll sound like excuses. It's cold. I didn't have all of my paints, so the palette was limited. I don't feel like I can see well. I keep going from glasses to bare eyes. It's the morning light changes so quickly. I don't know. It just didn't have that magic moment where it came together, you know. And I kept on and kept on, but I need to get a move on, so I'm going to well, I have wrapped that up, and I want to work on the painting. It's small though. I don't have any big canvases anyway, so that didn't just magically happen. I'm telling you, I don't think my lips have ever been this chapped in my life. That was a little disappointing. Sometimes it just happens, and I guess sometimes it doesn't. And this was one of those times it didn't. There was I just passed an equestrian trail. Huh. That's where I was. Because this is what I was attempting to paint. There's a little picnic table down there.
Continue for 7 miles.
This is North Kansas Road, she said. I saw a horse somewhere. There it is. We're leaving the canyon. We're leaving Scott Lake. And we're leaving Scott Lake from the end of it with a dam, because navigation is shooting me up this road to a windy gravel road to Little Jerusalem Badlands. It's 11 o'clock. I don't know how long I was there. I did eat some granola, and how do you say acai? Acai berry, whatever. And I had a Coke Zero, and you know what? It was gross. Now, I like Coke Zero, but for some reason, after I'd eaten and then I went back and I had a sip of it, I'm like, ugh, this isn't good. Like, water would have been better. It's kind of weird. I guess we'll stay on North Kansas Road. Why is that such a nice and tidy name all of a sudden? And why would it be this road of all the roads? Okay, I'm gonna put the phone down unless we see anything different. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. Look at the color. Wouldn't it be cool? I mean, it'd be more than that, to find a dinosaur bone, because they're here. A lot of this, there's so much land, a lot of this hasn't been walked. And look looked at up close. Not every stretch. Okay, we just crested this hill. And that's got to be 50 miles that the eye can see. Yeah, that was wild. Just came over a little hill there. I guess where the canyon opens up. And this is a back road. It's that crushed limestone or something like that. And it's a pretty decent road. I'm not going it very fast. Let's see, I'm going 30. Not fast at all. See, that is the hill. It's a muddy spot, but these tracks are pretty solid. Check that out. They're just kind of standalones. Not a lot around them. They're just kind of anomalous. And the Farley Ranch. Every now and then you'll see a sign for ranches, but that's quite an entrance to whatever is down that road. All of a sudden we are back on flat ground, and there is one truck.
Take the next right onto Gold.
Onto Gold. Well, that's it.
Continue on Gold for 1 mile.
Okay, you can kind of see where we came from. Maybe it's Scott Canyon, I don't know. That was neat. It's so neat to have this vantage point. Normally trees would be covering the landscape, but you can see the change. You can see the whole lowering, and that intersection back there reminded me at the end of that Tom Hanks movie Castaway, where, what was it, a FedEx package was being delivered? There were like angel wings being delivered to someone. Was that Castaway? I don't know. That truck just pulled up to a gate. How very interesting. A truck pulled up to a gate. There it is. Little Jerusalem, Badlands State Park.
Continue on County Road 400 for 1 mile.
Okay. So the paleontologist told me something interesting about Kansas. If you were to look at the profile, like a slice of Kansas, and see the elevation above sea level, it's tilted. The whole thing is drastically tilted. The western side is much higher than the eastern side. Now, the eastern side would border Missouri, mostly, if not completely. And that is sinking toward the Mississippi River. So this western side is actually high in elevation. And so you get these ravines that cut down into this high plain, and it just gets interesting. It said 1 mile. That must be our stop over there, that little yellow colored building. Permits required. I mean, I guess I will. Okay, well, I was honest. I did the thing. Okay. Okay. 250 acres. Most dramatic Niobrara chalk formation. Niobrara. They provide important habitat, native amphibians, ferruginous hawks, cliff swallows, largest population of Great Plains wild buckwheat, giant clams and oysters. Okay, in the late 19th century, they were said to resemble the ruins of many castles, thus Castle City. It's had different names. Some say that it got the name Little Jerusalem or New Jerusalem from a distance. It looks like the ancient walled city of Jerusalem. The Nature Conservancy acquired the property. Was once part of the McGuire Ranch. Hey, we're missing a poster. Be a force of nature. And there they are. Well, needless to say, and unfortunately, somewhat pathetically, I'm not walking down in there. So, photos it is. Look at the pretty color of this grass or grain. I just got out of the car and took a close-up picture of it. It's kind of nice against the gray. You know, I've noticed that people here seem pretty mellow, and I don't think you could help but to be mellow.
In 1,000 feet.
Isn't Kansas or the Midwest known as the breadbasket, America's breadbasket? Isn't there a region or state known as the breadbasket?